Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Lazy Couch Thoughts. Today is a great Monday because the Saints move on to 7-2, and they keep their half-game lead over the Bucks. Now, at the same time, it's a sucky victory Monday because Drew Brees is hurt, and we're gonna be breaking that down today. So buckle in. So in yesterday's win against the 49ers, Drew Brees got hurt in the second last possession of the first half, and he didn't return after halftime. Jameis Winston had to come in and play. The team's telling us that it's a rib issue. Kinda also looks like it might be a shoulder issue. The team never said it was, but he landed extremely hard on his side and on his shoulder and on a roughing the passer call, and it's not looking pretty. Just straight up, if he's got a few broken ribs, if he's got something, he's gonna miss a couple games, and Jameis Winston's gonna have to play because you can't throw the ball with a few broken ribs. You just can't do it. And Drew, after the game, they asked him what he thinks it is. They said, like, is it a rib? And he said, it's a few. Like, it's probably a few broken ribs. So, this isn't looking great. Luckily, we play the Falcons next week, so hopefully I miss one game. We should be able to beat the Falcons with Jameis, but the Falcons do get up to play the Saints. They try a lot harder against the Saints than they do for every other team, just in nature of the rivalry. But if Drew Brees has to miss significant time, we could be looking at some trouble. We could be looking at some DEFCON 5 type stuff, because the way that this season's going, with the way that the Bucks have been on our tail, like we're 7-2 right now, the Bucks are still only a half game back. We can't afford to miss Drew for any time, because that's when we mess around and lose our division lead. So on the play that happened, the Saints were right around the red zone, and it was 2nd and 10, and Drew was sacked by Contavious Street. And Street weighs, the roster says 287, so, about 300 pounds. And he hit Drew a little high, and they called roughing because it wasn't for like a hit. It was because he hit him and then landed on him and like pushed all of his weight into him on the ground, which is illegal now. I'm okay with it because we have Drew Brees. He's a little old. I don't want this stuff happening to him, and now we see why. But basically, the guy pushed 300 pounds of his body weight on top of Drew's side and shoulder where he landed. So that's where the rib injury would occur. Now, Drew somehow toughened it up, went score a touchdown that drive and the next drive, giving the Saints a 17-10 halftime lead, even though we were down 10-0 at the start of the second quarter. So Drew toughened it up. Drew got us the lead like he always does. He came through like he always does. But then coming out of halftime, like, we really didn't know something was up with Drew. We could see he was a little a little aching, but like it didn't look serious. It didn't look like he was gonna miss any time. It didn't look like he was gonna miss any snaps. But then coming out of halftime, we see Jameis put on his helmet and run into the game, and we're like, that's weird. And then we find out he's questionable to return. And then you see him talking to the sideline. He's like, Sean, like, my ribs, like I can't, I can't. So then after the game, he says he doesn't think it's that serious, that he just knew he wasn't going to be effective if he came into the game. But he says, he never said, I'll be back there next week. He said, hopefully I can become effective so I can play next week. I'll be effective enough to play next week. And that is very scary to hear, that it's not I'll be fine, I'll be back next week. No, he's like, I hope I can be healthy enough to play next week. That's scaring me. He hasn't had his x-rays yet. He hasn't an MRI yet. Him having an MRI and not only x-rays is scary too, because with broken ribs, you really only need x-rays unless they're trying to see the cartilage around it. But having an MRI around the shoulder area where I think the actual injury might have occurred, it's scary. I don't like it. Now, I want to take this opportunity to talk about how much I love Mickey Loomis, because Drew Brees he really hasn't missed games in his career, whatsoever. He missed the 5 games last year, and before that, I think he missed 1 game total in his career, on the Saints. So, we're not used to not seeing Drew out there. Yet, these last 2 years, when Drew Brees missed time, he had Teddy Bridgewater last year lined up as backup. Teddy went 5-0 whenever Drew tore the ligament in his thumb. And then this year, Drew might miss time for the first time. He doesn't miss time, so we're not used to having to see a backup. He made sure we get the best quarterback available in the market in Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis Winston, 30 interceptions last year, yada, yada, yada. He's not that good, da, 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 da. He threw 5,000 yards. 8 quarterbacks, it's happened 8 times in NFL history, 5 quarterbacks have done it, because Drew Brees has done it 4 times. He threw for 5,000 yards. I don't care have 30 interceptions. He threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. He has talent. He just doesn't see the field. And that's what Sean Payton's there for. That's what Drew Brees is there for. Jameis Winston will be okay. He just has to go beat the Falcons, which he's done in his career many times. Like, he's the best backup in football right now. And last year we had the best backup in football, Teddy. And this is like a thank you to Mickey Loomis, because Mickey Loomis has been a godsend, and these backup quarterbacks that we've been having, like Teddy was a godsend. Now hopefully Jameis can be. Now I know what you might be thinking. You might be like, oh no, if he's so good, why is he not a starter? Well, he chose not to be a starter. This guy, he had contract opportunities to go make some money, go compete for a job, go play for a year, be a buffer guy, yada, 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 be whatever. But he said, no, I want to go to New Orleans. I want to learn under Sean Payton. I want to learn under Drew Brees. I'm going to sign 1 year, $1 million, and I want to learn. And if Drew retires this year, then I'll be in line to try and get this starting job. But I want to revamp myself. I want to revamp all my mechanics, and I want to learn this season, because that's what I have to do if I want to stay in this league for a long time. If I want to play until I'm 35 or 40, I have to do this. I have to start over. I have to start fresh, because if not, like, I'm on my way out. And that's exactly what happened. And like, this is going to end up being a very good decision for him, because if Drew retires this year, he'll probably resign and become our starting quarterback. And even if not, he's going to learn so much to where, like, he'll be successful. Overall, I'm like really, really, really praying that Drew's going to be okay. I'm really praying he doesn't miss any time. But if he does have to miss a game or 2 or 3, we're going to be all right. Like, James is a very, very viable backup. He's going to play fine. Sean's going to get his play calling right. He's going to use Taysom. He's going to mix in everybody. Like, it's going to be fine. Like, Jameis Winston still has Michael Thomas. He still has Alvin Kamara. He's going to lean heavily on those guys, and we're going to go. And the way our defense is playing right now, our offense doesn't have to score 30 points a game. If our offense can get us 20, we'll probably win 80% of the time, because that's how great our defense is playing right now. So overall, Drew, I wish you the best. I hope you get healthy. I hope nothing's wrong with you. I hope everything comes out clear and you're just a little sore and like everything's fine. Jameis, if you have to play, I hope you do great. Obviously, we're going to be all cheering for you. Saints fans, please do not cry for Taysom Hill. Please do not cry for who you want to start in the backup. Just support Jameis. If Jameis wins a job, support him. If Taysom wins a job, Jameis fans, support him. We're all on the same team here. This isn't about, oh, he's better, No. This is the Saints. We're all Saints fans. They're all Saints players. We all cheer for each other. Okay? That's what we have to do. We have to support Jameis, because if half the fans are supporting him and half the fans aren't, how do you think that's going to make him feel? Like, seriously, put yourself in that situation. Wow, Drew Brees just went down, the Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, they asked me to go in and play. And then you look at Facebook or Twitter, and all the fans are saying, boo, we don't want this guy, we want somebody else. Don't do that. Don't be like that. Be supportive of your team. Love your team. And that, my friends, is going to do it for today. Thank you for watching Lazy Couch Thoughts today. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, comment for more content just like this. And Jameis, we're cheering you on if you play. Drew, get healthy, and that's going to do it today. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.